On GMA, we're watching that nor'easter pull away, but also that storm in Southern California still inundating places like San Diego this morning. Those flood watches and now the severe storms on tap for Texas and beyond, and the northern side with all the snow. I'll get into all of it. And the incident over international waters involving Russian fighter jets and a U.S. drone. Top national security official John Kirby is going to join us to discuss. And a look at whether CBD can help people who have trouble sleeping. Those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Major museums around the world are quietly recategorizing Russian artwork. This comes after the months-long campaign by a journalist and a historian who are trying to persuade U.S. institutions to relabel the historical works of art she believes are wrongly presented as Russian. At the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, two artists who were once labeled Russian are now categorized as Ukrainian, and a painting by a French impressionist was renamed from Russian dancer to dancer in Ukrainian dress. Right now it's 5:57 on your Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us. Coming up right here on GMSA, we continue to track light traffic for the early morning commute. 410 at Jackson Keller. We'll talk to Stephen Cavazos coming up. And again, the wild weather trend continues as far as a roller coaster of temperatures and a chance of storms over the next 7 days. Taking a look outside with live cam. Looking right back into the heart of downtown San Antonio. Midway through spring break 2023, we have 1 hour of news, weather, and traffic next.
Let's look out there with live cam. We're starting your day at 55 degrees, but temperatures are what, like movie, everything, everywhere, all at once, all over the place. We'll be checking in with Mike for the latest on the forecast.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, March 15th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great week. Can't wait to see the options we have for all the temperatures we're expecting from today all the way through the weekend.
Something for everyone, especially if you are missing the colder weather around here. But before that, we'll see what's happening with our Wednesday.
I like that, though. The everything, everywhere, everything.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to get a little bit of everything,
Yes.
it seems like, over the next few days here. So we're starting off what you would expect this time of year for the middle of March with temperatures in the low to mid 50s. And we've got some clouds out there. You can see a couple of planes that are taking off as well. But notice down at the surface, it's very kind of distinct looking, if you will, because we do have some dry air down here. So we're not seeing any of that fuzz from all the extra humidity. 55 now here in town. Pretty much a normal low temperature, low 50s parts of the hill country, Seguin at 52, and still very dry air. So we still have about 15 degrees difference between the temperature and the dew point temperature. So dry down here at the surface, which there are some computers that are trying to scare up a stray shower or two today, but I think if anything were to fall, it would probably evaporate before it reaches the ground. Oak is on the high side. It went up 2130. It went up from the previous day, and moderate pine and hackberry out there, low of everything else. The updated count's going to come out in about say hour and a half or so. Temperatures will stay pretty steady from this point on with this blanket of clouds, maybe fluctuate a degree or two. And we are going to be up into the mid to upper 60s today at noon. And then a lot of clouds around here, a little bit of sunshine. We get up to 73. So pretty much a normal high temperature, a little bit warmer than yesterday's 70. It's going to get even warmer tomorrow. We'll also have a couple of showers around here or there in the morning, a few in the afternoon, and then more tomorrow night, as well as some stronger thunderstorms, potentially severe storms, as that front moves on through here. Then we get a little bit more of the little everything, everywhere, and all that coming up this weekend. Pretty much cold air and wet conditions. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything going on the roads?
Well, we're trying to figure out a few things here, Mike. I was just on the phone with our friends at TransGuide. It looks like we have to get a little bit more information about what is happening here at 35 in New Braunfels. Take a look. We do have flashing lights, and it does look like a vehicle has veered off the roadway there. Right now, not clear exactly which area this is being pinpointed in, but you could see that vehicles are out there right now. We have first responders on the scene, so we want to make sure we give them plenty of room. Hopefully everyone's doing okay, but it doesn't look like a good situation here at 35 in New Braunfels. We'll get details on exactly what area this is and how it's going to impact the commute, but it seems that since we enter the 6 a.m. hour, some issues are now starting to pop up on our roadways. Here is a crash that our map has pinpointed at 37 North northbound at Fair Avenue. Now, you can see that there is a buildup that's taking place out there, and it's unfortunate because a lot of folks are making their way in from Pleasanton, perhaps on 37. So this could impact the drive time. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But right now, let's give you a wide look at the metropolitan area. Thankfully, it's still pretty quiet here for the most part. Commuters really don't have a lot to see out there. But again, let's take a look at some of those travel times, because if you are traveling in from Pleasanton this early, it's going to take you about 30 minutes. And it could be because of that issue that we're seeing out there. Thankfully, we are still in the green in the northbound lanes, but it does look like it's still going to be about a 30-minute drive time along US 90 eastbound if you're traveling in from Castroville, and the arrival from Lytle should take you about 16 minutes. But let's get it back here on 35 at New Braunfels, where we have that separate issue. It looks like it may be wrapping up as we are getting another look at this shot here. So we'll get some details for you and find out if we can get a shot of the conditions along 37. That'll be coming up a little bit later on. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police are investigating a situation where an officer shot a man in the leg overnight. This happened at an apartment complex on the city's north side. Our Alyssa Cole joins us live again with what we have learned from Police Chief William McManus. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Stephanie. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus did arrive at the apartment complex last night on Colonnade Boulevard, where this all took place. Now, the chief says the officer is on administrative leave after shooting the suspect moments just after jumping out of that second-story building window. Now, this all happened just before midnight near I-10 in Wurzbach. Officers were responding to a disturbance call. When they got to the apartment complex, they saw a man jump out of a window, second-story window from one of the buildings. When the officer approached the man, that's what McManus says, that man who had just came out of the second-story window, he pulled out a gun and pointed it at the officer. And that's when the officer returned. He pulled out his firearm, pulled the trigger, and he shot that man in the leg. Now, he was taken to the hospital for treatment. We're told before all of this happened, the man allegedly assaulted a woman that led to the initial 911 call in the first place.
The female complainant was reportedly being beaten by the male, and from witness reports, her face was all swollen and bruised when officers arrived.
Now, it's important to note that Chief McManus says everything they know right now is all preliminary investigation. They're just at the start of this case, and it could change as the investigation continues. But as of now, the officer will remain on administrative leave. McManus said the officer has been on patrol for less than a year, so not very long. And as far as the woman who was assaulted, it's unclear how she's doing. As soon as we get more details, we'll continue to update you through our later newscast and online at ksat.com. Reporting live downtown San Antonio, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. San Antonio police are investigating a chase-turned-standoff that ended in a shooting on the city's southeast side yesterday. A situation involving one man and several law enforcement agencies. Sky 12 video images show the swarm of there it is right there, a swarm of law enforcement surrounding the suspect inside that silver vehicle. Chief William McManus says this all started when officers tried to stop the suspect who had an active felony warrant for domestic violence. We're told the man took off, but law enforcement tracked him down near South Cross Ranch Road, just east of Loop 410.
The officers attempted to stop him. He fled down South Cross. He's down there about probably close to a half mile. He had a gun. There was a female in the car with him. He was in possession of a handgun. She was able to get out of the car at some point.
Now, we're told at some point during the standoff, the suspect held the gun to his head, then pointed it at officers. That prompted the officers to open fire. The man was taken to a nearby hospital. SAPD will now review body cam footage.
And now to an update to a story that we first told you about last week. A disabled veteran left stranded by a towing company that took his vehicle is grateful to have it back. Patrick Winters, a disabled veteran, called us for help after his car was towed while he was inside a laundromat. Now, his license plates had the traditional DV on them, but did not have the required placards now required by law. So he didn't know that until after KSAT told him of the law change. And after many tries, the owners of Bear Cresswell's Towing finally returned his car for free. They're also helping him get the documents in to get the correct disability placard for his vehicle, and they're throwing in a free washer and dryer for the trouble.
Committed to making this right and making sure that Mr. Patrick makes sure that he's going to get his plates updated and get where he needs to be.
I won't be spending any more nights at the Washingtarian. Won't have to worry about parking in the wrong place.
Now, Winters hopes his story will remind other veterans to update their handicap license plates.
In your morning consumer news, inflation continues to cool off, but consumer prices in February were still 6% higher than a year ago. The latest Labor Department numbers showing the smallest increase in September of 2021. The Consumer Price Index is one of the key reports the Fed will be using when it meets next week to decide on possible interest rate hikes.
Optimism from top executives at several of the country's biggest airlines. During a conference, executives for airlines like United, Delta, and JetBlue say despite recent slowdowns, the summer travel season is looking strong.
Biggest owner of regional sports broadcast networks is filing for bankruptcy. Diamond Sports Group, which owns 19 networks under the Bally Sports brand, missed a $140 million interest payment. The networks, which include the rights to more than 3 dozen NBA, NHL, and pro baseball teams, are expected to continue operating.
Happening today, the top prize for Lotto Texas is growing.
That's right. It's now sitting at the biggest jackpot in more than 12 years after 76 drawings without a winner. The current estimated jackpot today drawing is $53.5 million with an estimated cash value of $33.1 million. That's the largest Lotto Texas prize since May 29, 2010. Back then, the jackpot reached an estimated $97 million. Well, you give so much love to Powerball and Mega.
Yeah.
Not this one.
No, but that's a nice drawing there as well. Yeah.
6:09, 55 degrees.
And still to come, the company behind ChatGPT says its latest AI technology has human-level performance. What we're now learning in your GMA First Look.
And after the break, some small lifestyle changes that could have a major impact on saving your memories.
Let's look out there with live cam. If you think it's cool now, 55 degrees, just wait till this weekend. We're going to be checking in with Mike for all of those changes coming up.
Welcome back and good morning. Just about 6:14, forgetting appointments, losing your train of thought, feeling overwhelmed by making decisions or accomplishing a task. They are all signs of cognitive decline.
Millions suffer from dementia. Here in the States, 1 in 9 people will be diagnosed with it. Age is the #1 risk factor.
Leslie Hudson takes a look at some things you may be doing that could impact your memory.
I have issues with my memory.
Recalling names became more and more difficult over time.
They are the classic signs of cognitive decline. But not all the memory issues are irreversible. In fact, one thing you can do right now, quit smoking. A study out of the Ohio State University found smokers were twice as likely to experience brain problems than their peers. Also, get moving. A recent study discovered an exercise sweet spot that reverses cognitive decline. The team found that 35 days of continuous exercise improved memory and learning. A Duke study found that after 6 months, people who either walked, biked, or jogged 3 times a week for 45 minutes and ate a healthy diet were better at planning and organizing. Another way to improve your memory? Sleep.
A third of Americans are sleeping lesser than they should.
Research out of Harvard found sleeping less than 6 hours a night increases the plaques in the brain that lead to cognitive decline. I'm Leslie Hudson reporting.
Also, check your blood pressure. Preventing and controlling high blood pressure not only helps your heart, but your brain too.
Multiple studies have shown that high blood pressure in your 40s, 50s, and 60s increases your risk of cognitive decline later in life. Another good idea is to get your hearing checked.
People over 75 with hearing loss are twice as likely to develop dementia than people without a hearing problem.
And time now, 6:15. A look at I-37 at Fair Avenue looks a little rough. Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, we do have some issues to talk about, and it's really around the same spot that we saw problems occur yesterday. 37 at Fair Avenue. This is a crash that I mentioned to you guys a little bit earlier. So you could see that we do have first responders out on the scene, also a tow truck. Traffic's moving through there, thankfully, pretty steadily, but you still have to watch out because it does look like we at least have 2 lanes blocked, including the shoulder lane. So hopefully we'll have a better update update here, but in terms of slowdowns, it's pretty much stayed consistent there in the northbound lanes as you approach Fair Avenue. And unfortunately, not the only issue that we've reported out there. So let's take a drive just a little bit further down in the southbound lanes just before US 181. A stall 18-wheeler has actually been reported in the area. So it does look like anyone that's traveling, whether you're north or south along 37, you will see some problems out there. So just remember to watch for those first responders. Thankfully, everywhere here in town, it looks pretty quiet. No other issues to talk about. Thankfully, it is pretty steadily, traffic's moving pretty steady for the most part as I'm getting a look at some of these TransGuide cameras. But let's show you what you can expect around town, because there at Culebra I-10, those lower levels don't look too bad. Maybe pretty quiet actually for 6 a.m. But we're going to continue to keep a close eye on things throughout the morning, and hopefully we'll have a better update on that situation taking place along 37.
Stephen, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And for spring break, so we're actually going to head out to SeaWorld, and so we're going to start the day with hoodies today.
Oh, you're
today.
going to, yes,
Today.
yes. So like I was going to say, hopefully not.
No, not this weekend, not this weekend.
Yeah, if you're heading out this morning, jacket, sweatshirt's a pretty good idea, and you probably won't need it by the afternoon because we are going to make it up to basically a normal high temperature later on today, and then even warmer tomorrow. All right, take a look at this picture, and this was yesterday morning. It was a beautiful sunrise, and we didn't have as much in the way of clouds, and love how the sun is just kind of peeking all through those trees and everything as the leaves start to come on out a little bit more. Our regular viewer there, Yvonne, thank you very much for that. And this morning, you can see we do have a fair amount of clouds out there, but very crisp picture here with the low humidity that's in place, with temperatures that are close to a normal low. We're actually a couple of degrees above that right now, but yeah, jacket, hoodie weather, whatever the case may be. 53 right now in Comfort, 52 Seguin, as well as Gonzales, and then mid 50s elsewhere. We've got a breeze that's coming in here out of the east at 5-10 miles per hour. It's going to be somewhat on the breezy side later on this afternoon. What that's going to do is then start to increase the humidity. We still have very dry air in place right now, and that's why if anything like a sprinkle pops up, it's going to just evaporate before it ever reaches the ground. But as the humidity comes up, especially overnight and tomorrow morning, any few little sprinkles will definitely make it all the way down here. And then look at those dew point temperatures, mid upper 60s, low 70s throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to be basically just kind of hot and humid around here. Here comes the drier air though, and this is going to be late tomorrow night, early Friday as the front moves on through. Now, as far as any precipitation, again, a couple of sprinkles trying to be picked up on radar later on today, but it's just going to be on the cloudy side with a little bit of sunshine squeezing on through here and there. A few showers around tomorrow morning, just 1 or 2 of those, and then by the afternoon hours we're going to see a few more showers and thunderstorms developing off to the east. Some of those may be on the strong, potentially severe side, but what we're really going to be looking out for is then in the early morning hours, late tomorrow night, out in the hill country, early morning hours as the front works its way on through here. Some of those showers and thunderstorms, and some of those may be on the strong to severe side. So all of the area is basically under the gun for an isolated or then a few scattered showers and storms that may become severe. Again, high winds, hail are going to be the biggest threats with that. Temperatures. So again, 73 later on this afternoon. Need a jacket this morning, not by later on today. 82 tomorrow. Then the bottom drops out, and 50s over the weekend. 45 Sunday and Monday. Back up to the low 60s on Tuesday. And still, I mean, after tomorrow, temperatures well below the normal high, and low temperatures will stay very mild overnight tonight and starting off in the 60s, but that's going to be in the wee hours just before that front moves on through here, and then temperatures will continue to drop down, and then we'll be down around 40 Saturday, and then look at that, right in the low 40s, 10 degrees below normal. Plus we've got that rain on on Sunday as well as on Monday. Monday back to school after spring break. That's going to be kind of a rude awakening with all that cold, wet conditions out there. 67 degrees at noon today, mostly cloudy skies. Plenty of clouds, a little bit of sunshine thrown on through. 73 for high temperature, and again, kind of on the breezy side. Then tomorrow, Very warm start, warm and humid out there, hot and humid basically throughout the day, getting up into the low 80s, and a few showers and thunderstorms, maybe a few sprinkles in the morning, but off to the east in the afternoon, and then tomorrow night when the bigger threat for some of those scattered severe storms moves on through here. Very windy when the front moves through. Temperatures drop throughout the day Friday, and yeah, leprechauns are going to be cold on Friday. And then very cold over the weekend.
How are you guys doing with the time change so far this spring?
I'm okay now.
You okay now? Yeah.
It took a while.
Not bad.
I mean, I know we were off Monday. That helped a little bit.
A little bit.
I used to like the fall change better than this one, but I'm actually coping better with this one this time.
What? No.
I don't know why.
The only thing I have to get used to when it comes to forecasting the weather is all of the different computer models we look at come out at specific times based on Greenwich Mean Time. So everything's an hour later, and that just kind of messes me up.
I gotcha.
That would be a lot to deal with. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that, though.
First world problems.
621, 55 degrees.
Just ahead, we're heading to South by Southwest and a star-studded movie premiere.
Ready to feel what it's like when you can do more with less asthma? It's possible with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Are you in? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
This morning's GMA First Look, ChatGPT upgrade. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, which came on the scene about 4 months ago, out with its latest innovation, ChatGPT 4.
We're really kind of at the beginning of seeing AI's impact, but this is a sign of another way that impact is likely to ramp up, and I think we're going to see it, affect people more in their daily lives.
Snapchat recently launched a chatbot, My AI, supposed to be safer for teens. But when Washington Post reporter Jeffrey Fowler tested it out, the conversation turned inappropriate at times.
I asked it, hey, can you give me some advice on what kind of beer to have at my 15th birthday party? But that didn't stop it from giving me advice that just wasn't appropriate for a 15-year-old.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll see if this emerging technology is safe for teens. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The 37th edition of the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival is now underway, and one of this year's big premieres was a movie called Problemista. Our KSAT crew was on the red carpet for that world premiere in downtown Austin. And the cast includes San Antonio's actor James Scully, who graduated from the Northeast School of Arts and started in theater right here at home. So we asked him what advice he has for aspiring actors in the Alamo City.
San Antonio is a super culturally and artistically rich city. There's so much creative stimulation everywhere you go. Before you set your sights on somewhere like New York, Los Angeles, any of the big entertainment cities, look around and see what can I learn from the people already living in my community.
This is just one of the big stories to come out of South by Southwest this year. And don't forget to check out our live streams from South by Southwest on our KSAT YouTube page. You can also find complete coverage on KSAT.com. So just look for these stories.
Time check, 627, 56 degrees.
Look at the roads with TransSky. Looking over there at Highway 90 at General McMullen. Things are moving there. Things also moving at Highway 281 at Sprucewood. We'll check back with our Stephen Cavazos very soon.
Who knew what and when? Coming up, 2 federal investigations are now underway into the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Everything we know so far.
Outside with live cam, winter is ending, right? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Some colder air is in the forecast, and you might be surprised how cold it's going to get as we go into next week. But first things first, good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. It's 6:30 on your Wednesday. March 15th.
Thanks for joining us. I was prepared for the cold. I knew it would come because we had some warm days in February. So I was like, I'm going to keep those jackets out just in case.
And I should have known better, but I did.
Kind of like turnabout's fair play. 92 last Saturday. So what's worse, having the colder low temperatures or when it stays cold in the afternoon? So we're going to have lows. So we're going to have low temperatures in the 40-degree range.
Yeah.
But we're going to have high temperatures Sunday and Monday. They're only 45. So they'll be almost 30 degrees below normal once we get into Sunday. Plus you got rain on top of that. Good hunker down inside kind of weather. All right, we do have lots of clouds hanging around here, but notice how the lights on the cityscape there are nice and crisp and clear. So we've got some very dry air down here at the surface. 15 degrees difference between these two numbers, the air temperature and the dew point temperature. So really dry air, and I keep saying all morning long. That's why if anything does happen to pop up as far as a shower on radar, most of it's more than likely going to be evaporating before it ever reaches the ground. That would be through the afternoon, but then different story tonight and tomorrow. Very consistent temperatures all around the area right now. And again, everybody's got this really dry air in place for the time being. The humidity will start to return later on today. Oak is on the high side, pine and hackberry moderate, mold and mulberry low. The updated count's going to come out in about an hour or so. So cloudy and cool. Seasonally cool, actually still a few degrees above normal this morning. And then we go into the rest of today. Mostly cloudy skies, low 70s, a little bit warmer than yesterday, kind of breezy. Wind out of the southeast. That's going to start to pull in all that humidity. That will increase overnight and in through the day tomorrow. So a couple of showers are possible tomorrow morning. Then a few showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, mainly off to the east. Then we go into tomorrow night when the front moves on into the area, and that's going to produce some potentially stronger storms. Obviously, tomorrow night, first of all, in the hill country, and then in the wee hours Friday morning. We're going to be in the 80s tomorrow. It's going to be very hot, very humid. That all changes, though, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I should have included Monday on that. Windy Friday. Cold all the way through the weekend, and then we've got some rain Sunday as well as on Monday. Yeah, it is going to be kind of a couple of bone-chilling sort of days. Got any outdoor plans? Get them done today and tomorrow because, well, maybe not even tomorrow with some of the rain, but you don't want to be outside too much this weekend. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, so you got all those flashing lights out there?
No, actually, Mike, things have actually improved along 37, but we still are finding a few problems out there. So if you have been with us, we actually had an 18-wheeler that was actually stalled here along 37 southbound. This is just before 181, and you can really see that this is off of the shoulder lane, so it's not really impacting a whole lot of traffic. But 37 is a very busy spot because a lot of folks are making their way to and from the Alamo City. So just remember, anytime you see an issue like this, move over or slow down. Hopefully we'll see some resolution there for that driver pretty soon. But let's just tell you where it's at. Again, southbound lanes just before 181. Not causing any issues there, but we're going to keep a close eye on it. Better news to report, though. We did have a crash that was reported up here on 37 northbound at Fair Avenue. That is cleared out. Earlier, it was causing a little bit of a delay for drivers, but things are in the green, and that's what we like to see. And the same story for the metropolitan area there. Just tons of green out there, and of course, a lot of construction. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but happy to report better news there at 37. Hopefully, we'll have better news for this driver there along 181. Hopefully, again, that stalled vehicle won't really impact any traffic, but right now it just seems to be moving pretty steady. Just remember to watch out, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, Uvalde City Council unanimously approved an updated memorandum of understanding between the Uvalde Police Department and Uvalde School District. It happened during last night's City Council meeting. Alyssa Cole joins us live again to tell us about some of the new agreements. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Stephanie. There were some noticeable changes or updates that were made. But before I get into that, it is important to note that this memorandum of understanding was first approved back in September of last year. But last night, Uvalde Council unanimously agreed that Uvalde police and school district officials can share interchangeable leading authority in any necessary situation. For example, if an emergency situation is happening at a school and it's happening at UCIS UCISD's, one of their campuses, one of their schools, and city police officers are on campus. They have the permission, they have the go-ahead to take action safely if they can do so. City police officers, all they have to do is communicate that with the school district officers, and it goes vice versa. It works both ways. Now, while that's a simple update, they also made changes. They updated names as well. But before the unanimous agreement was made, one of the city council members raised an important question. One of those questions was, why isn't DPS a part of this memorandum, given that they do have jurisdiction in that rural area? However, the council decided to move forward. They decided to move forward with the understanding that DPS will have to create their own memorandum of understanding with UCISD, as the city police did with UCISD last night. Reporting live downtown San Antonio, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. Other stories this morning. A police investigation is underway after an officer shot a suspect overnight. Happened at an apartment complex on the city's north side. It happened just before midnight at a complex near I-10 in Wurzbach. Police tell us when officers got there, they saw a man jump out of a second-story window from one of the buildings. When the officer approached him, we're told he pulled out a gun, and that's when the officer shot the man in the leg. He was taken to a hospital. The officer will be placed on administrative duty, which is routine during the investigation.
We are learning more about investigations underway into the second largest bank collapse in U.S. history. Sources say both the Justice Department and Securities and Exchange Commission are investigating the failure of Silicon Valley Bank. ABC's Lindsay Watts explains what this means.
Two separate investigations now underway into the sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. According to two people familiar with the situation, the probes are in the preliminary stages, and it's not clear whether any wrongdoing has been committed.
The SEC and the Department of Justice both will be interested in who knew what when and who did what when. Investigators want to know who traded when and were people tipped off.
Sources tell ABC News that part of the FBI's early focus will be looking into whether any of Silicon Valley's senior leadership got unusual bonuses or sold stocks in the days leading up to the bank's collapse. In short, is there any evidence of insider trading? Barron's now reporting that according to SEC filings, two top Silicon Valley executives sold shares in the company shortly before it collapsed. CEO Greg Becker sold nearly $3.6 million of company stock less than 2 weeks before the firm disclosed extensive losses that led to the failure. Senator Elizabeth Warren telling MSNBC that any executive bonuses and stock sales should be taken back from CEOs and high-level bankers.
They took on all that risk, made themselves more profitable right up to the day that the bank exploded.
The CEO of Silicon Valley Bank did not return ABC News' request for comment. Wall Street taking a breath Tuesday as regional bank stocks stabilized, showing panic in the market may be subsiding. This morning, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the Federal Reserve is rethinking a number of its own rules when it comes to mid-sized banks, a move that could soon require those banks to meet some of the same standards as the nation's largest banks. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank is hitting close to home for some businesses here in San Antonio. A few days before the collapse, Plus One Robotics celebrated a successful $50 million fundraising effort. That money had been deposited with Silicon Valley Bank alongside most of the company's operational funds.
Had they not made their resolution on Sunday night, and we were still in that situation today, we'd have to find some other way to make payroll.
Also here in San Antonio, Secure Logic's CEO says the bank's failure also froze up their funds at first, which would have meant finding a workaround for payroll. Both companies say they'll be diversifying their banking in the future.
Happening today, a Texas federal judge is holding a hearing on the biggest abortion-related case since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year. The issue is medication abortion. Anti-abortion advocates sued the FDA over medication used in that process. The lawsuit is seeking several actions, including an injunction ordering the FDA to drop its approval of the drug. That would essentially block its use nationwide, at least temporarily. Reproductive rights advocates who are in favor of the medication say if the judge sides with the plaintiffs, it would eliminate the most commonly used method of abortion care. Today, both sides will have an opportunity to present their arguments.
Speaking of the FDA, they have authorized Pfizer's Omicron booster shot for kids under 5 years old who were previously vaccinated with 3 doses of the company's original vaccine. Children 6 months through 4 years old who completed their 3-dose primary series with Pfizer and BioNTech's original monovalent shots more than 2 months ago can now receive a single booster dose of the updated shot.
Despite some progress, Alzheimer's disease poses a growing concern in the U.S. And according to the Alzheimer's Association, the number of Alzheimer's patients is expected to double by the year 2050. Health officials say although some treatments look promising, many elderly people are still reluctant to talk about cognitive problems with their doctors. The Alzheimer's Association says people with memory issues should talk to a doctor immediately. We're also told the national cost for caring for people with dementia-related problems rose to $345 billion in the year 2023.
Now to a little action from the Silver and Black. Spurs hosting the Orlando Magic last night at the AT&T Center. One of the big moments of the night, a new franchise record for threes made in a single game with 22. The final score, Spurs roll past the Magic 132 to 114. Next up for our Spurs, they're back in action tonight hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Tip-off is set for 7:30 at the AT&T Center.
And check it out, the San Antonio Spurs are releasing a new apparel line in honor of the team's 50th anniversary. The collection will include classic and 1996 NBA All-Star Weekend t-shirts, caps, and more. They will be available at the AT&T Center on Friday, so you can see the items right now, though, on our website at ksat.com. That would be a little sneak peek on our website.
So 1996 is now considered retro. 642, 55 degrees on your Wednesday morning.
After the break, a look at some of the KSAT community events happening this month.
A local nonprofit is creating connections and helping children who are deaf or hard of hearing find their identity.
The Guide by Your Side program is made up of specially trained parents of children who have some level of hearing loss. Now, the services offered by the Guides are free and can be requested in English or Spanish. They offer encouragement, support, and a sense of community.
All right, high school seniors can apply for the Cesar E. Chavez Legacy and Educational Fund Scholarship right now. The foundation raises money to help their scholarship campaign and awards educational grants to graduating high school seniors in Bexar County to help them pursue their dreams for the future. Seniors must be attending college during the fall 2023 semester in order to apply.
And we are looking forward to the 11th annual San Antonio Book Festival. 100 authors will be here on April 15th for the event. It will be a celebration of literature, and you can read more about all of these stories on our website at ksat.com.
This is the time of morning we bookmark to check in with Stephen Cavazos.
I like that. But, you know, thankfully, there is not going to be a lot of traffic, at least at this point. 410 at WW White. Let's get a quick look around town, show you what you can expect for your early morning drive. Not a whole lot out there, guys. We did have our fair share of issues over the last few days, but really they haven't caused a whole lot of problems out on the roadway. And in fact, some of them that are lingering around right now, have not really caused any problems for drivers. So you can see there for the most part, it's just getting a little bit busier out there, but no congestion. We did have a crash that already cleared out there off 37 northbound at Fair Avenue, and things are in the green. In fact, 37 has really been a little bit of a problem spot because that's also the area where we still have a stalled 18-wheeler reported along those southbound lanes before 181. But the wide look of the map really just shows something that we don't see too often at this time. Lots of green, and we have spring break to thank for that. Let's also talk about some road work that's taking place because it doesn't look like TxDOT crews are taking a break anytime soon. 410 on the south side of San Antonio. Remember, this overnight work will begin around 9 this evening, and this is going to take us to tomorrow morning at around 5. We'll see a full closure of the eastbound main lanes at Villa Main Road all the way to Southton Road. But you can always head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of closures. But back here in town, it doesn't seem that anything is really impacting traffic at this hour. So happy to report that for anyone that has to wake up early with us and head out the doorway.
All right, this is one of those just because extreme cuteness.
Oh,
look at those two. Guess we call them little leprechauns.
How cute.
Adorable.
2 Lucky Charms right there.
Extra lucky and
3 months old.
Look at how they put all the lucky, and that's the rainbow of the Lucky Charms around them.
That's cute.
What a clever idea for a picture.
Oh my goodness gracious! Are they just? You just want to look at those cheeks on them.
Some jujube.
I know. know. Oh, that's
Adorable.
beautiful. And congratulations. Thank you very much for that picture. All right. We've got a lot of clouds out there and got a lot of dry air, which you can sort of tell by looking at the lights down there. There's no kind of fuzz around any of the lights. 55 degrees right now, 53 Comfort, Bulverde, and a pair of 52s there, Gonzales, as well as Seguin. And we will fluctuate maybe a degree or two in the next hour or so. A lot of clouds this morning, some sunshine thrown in, but we will lean toward the cloudier side today. 67 degrees today at noon, and then we top off at 73. With wind shifting around to the southeast. It's primarily out of the east right now. Southeast, it's going to be somewhat breezy. That's going to start to pull in more of the humidity as we go into, especially tonight and overnight into tomorrow morning. Now, computer models are trying to scare up a stray sprinkle here or there, but I think with the air so dry down here at the surface, anything that would crop up probably going to be evaporating before it ever reaches the ground. And then still plenty of clouds around here tonight. Tomorrow morning, a few showers around, so maybe a bit of a damp commute in places tomorrow morning, not widespread rain. Then as we go into the afternoon, there's going to be more showers and a few thunderstorms developing off here to the northeast, and that's not the big line of rain coming on in. That's going to be tomorrow night and then early Friday morning as this line of showers and thunderstorms moves on through here. And those are the ones that even tomorrow afternoon, some of those could be strong, but it's going to be tomorrow night, late, early Friday. And that's why there is the isolated to scattered severe threat around all of the area. And high winds and hail are going to be the biggest things we have to watch out for as far as those big storms early Friday morning. Temperatures then drop like a rock. 82 tomorrow, down to 50 Friday, mid 40s over the weekend, and low temperatures. We'll start off in the wee hours right around 60. Front comes through, and then we drop down in through the 50s late in the afternoon. Look at that, low temperatures right around the low 40s out there, but we got some rain on top of that as well. So forecast goes like this around here today. We are going to be up to, again, 67 degrees at noon, mostly cloudy skies, and then a high temperature will make it up to 73. Pretty much a normal high this time of year. A little bit breezy, and that's going to start to pull in some of that humidity. And we'll have a couple of showers around tomorrow in the morning, a few showers and storms afternoon, and then tomorrow night, that's going to be the big line of showers and storms. The front moves through, much colder. Make some indoor plans. Get the coloring book and coloring crayons out this weekend.
Thank you, Mike. 6:51, 55 degrees.
Let's look out there with live cam. Again, an unusually cool start to your day, 55 degrees, but you know what? This is nothing compared to what we're going to face this weekend, just like Mike told us. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we're watching that nor'easter pull away, but also that storm in Southern California still inundating places like San Diego this morning. Those flood watches and now the severe storms on tap for Texas and beyond, and the northern side with all the snow. I'll get into all of it. And the incident over international waters involving Russian fighter jets and a U.S. drone. Top national security official John Kirby is going to join us to discuss. And a look at whether CBD can help people who have trouble sleeping. Those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
All right, and back here at home, the commute has been tranquil, and if you have to head out the door in the next few minutes, watch out. It looks like we have a stalled vehicle there at 10 at De Zavala, but for the most part, we made it through the morning without any major issues out on the roadway. We did have a crash earlier. That's already cleared out, so we really don't have a lot to worry about there, even at I-10 at those lower levels. Just remember, watch out for TxDOT crews. They're going to be pretty busy later today with some road projects, but for the most part, thankfully, we have had some quiet roads, and I think that that's the way it's going to stay for a little while. Hopefully, Mike.
Cool out there this morning, seasonably cool, and we've got mid 50s all around the area. Later on today, we're going to make it up to 73, mostly cloudy skies. Still very dry air right now, but we're going to see the humidity come on in here. A couple of showers tomorrow morning, and then some showers and thunderstorms mainly east in the afternoon. Then the big front moves through late tomorrow night, early Friday. Potentially some strong to severe storms and much colder over the weekend. Bundle up your leprechaun for Friday.
Steph's off the next couple of days, but she'll be back next week.
Yeah, I'll be back, but I'll be back here at 9.
You will be back here at 9. That's first
See you
things
later.
first. Yeah. We'll miss you.
Aw.
Yes.